right, everybody, we are back with a brand new Cabral HouseCall. Glad you could join me here today on the weekend edition of the Cabral Concept, where we're answering our community's questions, just like we do each and every Saturday and Sunday, and have been now for over 8 years, which is really exciting. So without further ado, let's just dive into the questions. We know why we're here. Hopefully we can get some people the answers that they've been looking for. Again, not providing medical diagnosis, medical cures, or medical advice of any way, but what we want to do is we really want to get to the underlying root cause. I never look at the questions before they come in, and it's simply my job to share with people maybe a good first place to get started or something they may have missed if they're only looking at it from a conventional medicine perspective. All right, first question is from Melissa. Melissa says, I've had 6 CTs in my life. My abdomen at 23, neck, abdomen, and head at age 30, and spine and head at age 36. All right, so if people don't know what we're talking about, CT scans, kind of like a CAT scan, kind of like an MRI, maybe, but obviously much stronger. And so what we're looking at is the amount of radiation that the body is exposed to. So this is what Melissa's worried about. So Melissa says, I calculated my total additional cancer risk based on some research and calculators to be somewhere around 1% to 2%. This feels like a huge risk to me, and I'm terrified that it's one I cannot do anything about. As I understand, it's just a chance that my cells may not repair themselves or die. And then that's that. How risky is it to have had this many CTs already? And what can I actually do, if anything, to prevent radiation-induced cancer down the road? How much control do we really have in cancer prevention of any cancer type from this source? Thanks so much. Okay, happy to help, with this. So I too am in the same category. From the age of 17 through, I stopped doing all that stuff around 25, but I had X-rays for 6 straight years, at least once a year, on my lungs for pneumonia. So I would get pneumonia every single winter when I was unwell. I had CT scans over the entire body. I had MRIs with contrast because they couldn't figure out what exactly was wrong with me. So I'm right in the same boat. I totally get what you're saying. I can't give you medical advice, but here's what I do know helps at least to remove a lot of these cancer cells. So first, we need to improve our overall immunity. We really do. That's probably the number one thing not to get cancer. I see all of these people when I travel, because I have to travel a lot, in airports, and I'm just like, yeah, some people may have it, some people may not, but some people's immune system just works better than others. And they're able to kill off a lot of these cancer cells, even though they're smoking and eating poorly. And maybe, again, we know that being over a 25 and definitely a 29 BMI without the proper, obviously body composition can lead to greater cancer. Here's what I say. We need to do our quarterly functional medicine detoxes, and then maybe one longer one a year, because we know that getting into a deeper level of autophagy helps to kill these cancer cells. So intermittent fasting is phenomenal, but doing a 72-hour, like the Equilife or Dr. Cabral Detox, whatever you want to call it, is going to help you get there to a better degree. Am I saying that it cures cancer? No, I'm not saying that. I can't say that, and I won't say that. What I'm saying is it helps to kill off a lot of these cells that have been mutated. All right, Melissa? And people don't know the detox that we've been using in our practice now for over a decade. It's at stevencabral.com/detox. All right, Michelle's up next. And again, I have so much of the rain barrel effect. Sauna can be helpful. All of these things are very helpful. Exercise. But I wanted to give you one simple thing that everybody can do. All right, Michelle's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. You've helped me so much. My question is on meditation. I'm trying to work on my chronic stress and started meditation about 3 months ago. I don't feel any changes from it. I read a book, read articles, tried mantra meditation, tried guided meditation, tried different styles, and tried doing it on my own. I started with 15-minute meditations twice daily, but after 2 months of not feeling anything, reduced it to 10 minutes first thing in the morning. Questions: since I don't feel any changes, does this mean I'm doing it wrong? Number 2, if I don't feel any different, can I assume it's still making changes in my brain? Are there some people who have other things to fix before they feel meditation? Does meditation not help some? Yeah, these are great questions. So you're trying to work on your chronic stress, you said. My thing is this. Our brain affects our body, but our body also affects our brain. I've shared the story. I started meditating around, not till I got out of college, really. I knew about it, but I wasn't really serious about it. I was in college in the later 90s, undergrad. And I probably started around the age of 23. And I did it for sure through the age of 27. And the problem was that I was doing it and my body was so exhausted, meditation couldn't overpower my body. So I always tell people, and again, if you haven't read The Rain Barrel Effect, it's literally free. We ship it to you. You just pay for shipping. It's at stephencabral.com. Why this is important, this is actually really important, is because I couldn't get the benefits from meditation until my body was actually healthy enough to sync up. Now, you need both. Your physiology affects your psychology, and your psychology affects your physiology. So it's not going to waste. I'm not saying that at all. But what we recommend is actually helping to improve the body as well. So sometimes for a lot of people, going for a walk, box breathing or resonance breathing can help. Using adrenal soothe, using calming magnesium, those are very, very helpful. So these are things that we do in conjunction with meditation so that when we try to quiet our mind can actually work with our body. So there's a great lab you can run called the Stress, Mood, and Metabolism Test that will actually show you what your body is lacking, not your mind necessarily, but your body, that will then help with the meditation. So now when I meditate, it's night and day difference. Like it's night and day, and I can actually take that meditation with me through life. So that's what I recommend, Michelle. That hormones test is at stephencabral.com/shop, along with literally everything. I mean, you can find everything. They have the Detox, the book, etc. All right, Anita is up next. Anita says, Dear Dr. Cabral, thank you for all your knowledge you share with your community. I value and appreciate you. Thank you, Anita. Appreciate you. I just came across the Jay Feldman Wellness Podcast. In the podcast 106, he shares studies stating omega-3s lead to oxidative stress. I'm wondering if you read the studies he refers to. And I'm interested in your feedback on the subject. He did not say low quality omega-3s. He cited many studies. Thank you so much for your time and consideration. Yeah, so there's a couple things with this. I've said this before, but not all omega-3s are created equal. And you also have to understand that oxidative stress will come from any polyunsaturated fat if the body is greatly imbalanced. And many times when they're talking about these omega-3s, they're not talking about omega-3s from fish oil. So the thing is this, there are all sorts of people who try to be controversial in this world. And I actually believe that they believe what they believe, right? But the problem is this, you literally have, I don't know, we'll call it, let's call it 10,000. It's probably way more than that. Functional medicine doctors, like integrative health doctors. And all of them see the research and read the research. And then I don't know anything about Jay, and he's probably fantastic. Honestly, he's probably absolutely fantastic. Here's the thing. There is no all for one. Like, yeah, you get cheap omega-3s, you use them at super high dosages, it can lead to oxidative stress. There's no doubt about that. Like, there's literally no doubt about that. And you can find that for a lot of things. It's free radical damage. We talk about that in high performance health. Okay, but you take 2 to 3 grams of a high quality fish oil, and it is one of the top 5 most efficacious nutritional supplements that reduces all-cause mortality. And that's just not me saying it. And again, you can use any omega-3 product in the world. I mean, we use daily omega-3 support, and we verify it with labs, first of all, that it's contaminant-free, but second, that it actually works, that it literally does what it's supposed to do. And then you have other people like Dr. Rhonda Patrick, and like the best of the best all recommend omega-3s. And the reason they do is that they don't cherry pick studies. They look at the aggregation of actual clinical research, and they show that those people who increase their omega-3s, not overloading it, but increase their omega-3s, especially in human studies, not even mouse studies where they're overloaded with an oxidative form of omega-3, that they improve all-cause mortality. That means they die from everything to a far less degree. And it's the research is undeniable. So I feel bad that this type of, well, it exists with everything. I mean, literally, I do not subscribe to or watch shows where people are all in on only one thing. All plants are bad, right? All plant food is bad, right? Or all meat is bad. All fish is bad. All tea is bad. All coffee is bad. All this is bad. Anybody who says that, it's an immediate non-follow. And the reason is they're just trying to market something to you, because there is this thing called bioindividuality. There is this thing called balance. Eating 3 pounds of meat a day is probably not a good thing for your average individual. Maybe if you're, an Olympic athlete exercising 4 to 6 times a day. I don't know, maybe, okay? But I'm willing to keep an open mind to that. And usually most people don't benefit from being completely vegan. right? There's usually a little bit of a balance that they can find where they'd be healthier. Now, they might do very few, like meat, fish, or egg-based products, but they might do some. And I've seen in my own practice, again, we've seen over 300,000 people now. They're usually healthier on all their labs. But again, it's about balance. It's always about creating balance. And most people just try to create fair. I am never someone that's going to create fair in individuals. I lab test. I tell exactly what the client needs and not more and not less. And that leads to optimal health. So that's that. I also don't like to get into debates and arguments with people. I'm like, you can find clinical research for anything you'd like. Right? Let me show you exactly where you're at on your omega-3 test. You can find those labs again at stephencabral.com. Take your own omega-3 inflammation test. If you are above a 5-to-1, specifically of omega-6 to omega-3s, there's no doubt about it. You're creating massive levels of inflammation, prostaglandins, leukotrienes, all these things inside of your body that create inflammation and disease. So with respect, I think that fear-mongering is not a good thing within the health industry. I just don't. Okay, summer's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I've been doing a seasonal detox for a few years now, and I've learned something new, and I'm able to pinpoint new things every time. Happy to hear that, Summer. The last few times I've noticed while in the detox, basically every night I have some type of histamine response during or after dinner. It doesn't happen during or after lunch, just after dinner. I've used the daily nutritional support for years, so no problem there. I'm assuming there's something in one of the detox supplements that causing a histamine response. My ears, pointer fingers, knees, and toes all turn red and hot and a little puffy feeling. Thoughts? I usually just plow through and continue taking the supplements since the reaction doesn't last long. Hoping the benefits are outweighing the risks, but I'm not sure. I always appreciate your opinion. Okay, let's dissect this a little bit. So, on the detox, learning new things, every night there's some type of histamine response after dinner. Okay, well, it doesn't have to after lunch, just dinner. Okay, so here's the thing. When you are on the Equalife detox, as long as the Equalife detox, right? I just have to confirm that because obviously there are different types of detoxes. You're taking the AYU and the FM 2 and 2 capsules with breakfast, and you're taking 2 at dinner. So if it were the capsules, I would assume that it was also happening at breakfast, but it's not. It's only happening at dinner. So my question to you is, are you doing different foods during the detox at dinner that could be exacerbating it? Now, maybe it's like totally normal foods for you. You're doing, I don't know, maybe you're doing some veggies and some salmon or whatever it is. You typically eat those. Okay, no big deal. But are you adding something else that you may not? Like many people add a little apple cider vinegar. Many people add some ginger tea. Maybe you're reacting to one of those because absolutely those can create a histamine response. So I'd be interested, okay? I'd be very interested to see if that's an issue. Or maybe you're used to taking omega-3s, which we just talked about at dinner, that would help with an overall TH2 balance. And so maybe it's what you've taken out of your typical day that might not be keeping your body in balance. So I just want to throw that out to you. And of course, you can always ask additional follow-ups at cabralsupportgroup.com. All right? Well, that is our time for today. I know I like to get to as many questions as possible. That was about 4 for today. I'll absolutely get to more tomorrow. So tune back in for another. We're hopefully going to get to 5 questions from the community. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate you. Tune right back in tomorrow, and we'll get to more of our community's questions. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.